Welcome to the Kpopcast, bringing you the best sounds and ideas in K-pop. This week we've got our alcohol-free mocktails ready to discuss twice. Alcohol-free.
I'm your PD nib, Michaela.
And I'm your K-pop DJ Peter Lowe. And joining us for this episode, we've got a full house with three special guests. Up first, it's your former social media manager of the Betty Boop account who tweeted Sana last year. And you're a girl group enthusiast. It's Lai Francis. What's going on, Lai? Tell us what special mocktail you're drinking.
Hey everyone, great to be here again. Well, actually, thanks for inviting me. It's always awesome to be around people with like-minded minds and, with some disappointments here and there, but that's fine. What am I drinking tonight? I am drinking Itoen.
Yes.
Koicha, unsweetened, bold green tea. Not sponsored, but it's inside my Twice Lights tumbler.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I'm drinking.
Special alcohol-free drink.
Yes, alcohol-free just for the occasion.
And also joining us is Nayeon's one and only bestie and our favorite neurovascular physician. It's Dewey. What's going on, Dewey? What are you drinking?
Hey, it's Dewey, twice superfan, neurologist, and father of two. You can count on me to give the most unbiased, biased twice review. I'm drinking today a pineapple, strawberry, mint. Oh, wait, that's not right. That's just the components. I'm drinking a virgin pineapple paradise.
Very on brand. And last but not least, making his official Taebak or Not debut, it's Warren from Soju Talk.
Hey.
What's going on, Warren?
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Warren from Soju Talk. We are a 24/7 Minecraft streamer on Twitch. No, we're a K-pop podcast, weekly shows. I have Milkus with me. It's my replacement for Maksa. Do you guys know what that is?
No, what is
No,
that?
no. Tell me anything and I would
Makgeolli
believe
and
you.
something?
Makgeolli and cider.
Cider.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah,
Ah.
basically
Nice.
the same thing, So here I am.
Oh, and by the way, in case you're wondering, I've got, I like to keep it fancy. So I've got a product of Italy here. It's a Gina dark red. It's not wine. It's fancier than wine, y'all. It's wine beverage. So it's
Wow.
So is it-
non-alcoholic.
So I'm confused.
So what's in it?
Carbonated grape juice, basically.
Got it.
And I've got this ridiculously large ice cube in my glass here because that's how you're supposed to enjoy fancy,
Make it
pinky
fancy.
out wine beverage.
Yeah. And
On the rock.
y'all can't see me,
On
but
the-
I'm
on the
drinking
rock.
water because this comeback has got me thirsty for some Nation's
Stay
girl group.
hydrated.
Oh.
See, you're not disappointing me, right? Right now. You are not disappointing me.
마신 게 나도 없는데 너와 있을 때마다 이래 날 보는 네 눈빛 때문에 너는 너로 마시는 내 champagne, 내 wine, 내 tequila, margarita, mojito with lime, sweet mimosa, pina colada, I'm drunk in you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, so if y'all didn't know, we are here because the Nation's girl group has returned with their new single, Alcohol Free, hence why we've all got mocktails and whatever else we're drinking. This follows the release of their last Japanese album, Kura Kura, back in April in 2021, and is the pre-release single to their 10th mini album, Taste of Love. 10 albums, because this is going on their 6th year now, right? Being a girl group. So they've done a lot. And along with this release, they have what's called a special enhanced version of the album on Spotify. So there's a lot of behind the scenes footage and kind of commentary and explanations behind each of the tracks. So I've never heard of that before, so that was interesting.
Nice.
Well, thank you for that background, Michaela, on the context behind this album. But Dewey, I know you did some research into the meaning, or at least the concept of the song. Why don't you take us away?
Yeah, I mean, I think face value, right? We're dealing with a a summer release song, right? Alcohol free. Let's be honest, when we all first heard the title, we're taken aback a little bit, right? And we're like, alcohol free? What is this, right? But the more I watch it, the more I keep saying the title should be named Free Alcohol instead of Alcohol Free, because it has more to do with alcohol than not alcohol, to be honest with you, right? I think Twice reminds us they're still the queens of cute, but this is different. This is not your cheer up or TT cute. There's a kind of a mature sexiness, dare I say, to them still,
right.
and they're playing both sides perfectly, which I think is the interesting point. And I tried to figure out what the best word was to describe it, and I came up with coy. So I looked up coy in the Webster Dictionary. I don't know if anybody still does that anymore. It says,
wait, spell COY?
COY, yeah, not like koi fish, right? But coy, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Making a pretense of shyness or modesty that is intended to be alluring, right? I mean, to me, it's one big tease. We got trolled, right, from the start with the name, right, alcohol free. But again, it's more about alcohol than not. They're telling you, I'm cute. Look at me. I'm so cute. But the visuals are so sharp. They practically gave me a nosebleed when I watched, right? So they're doing this duality. I think that it's kind of in their trajectory towards what they've been moving towards, right? The more mature kind of aspects of the visuals and the sounds. But they're teasing back. They're pulling us back in with a little bit of that cuteness as well.
Yeah, because it's much brighter. Like still mature, but still much more brighter and happy than like their previous releases, like "Cry for Me" or "I Can't Stop Me," which were like the coloring of that was very dark.
It feels even brighter than "More and More," which was their previous summer track from last year.
Right.
It also had that track also was a bit of a summer bounce, I guess. But at the same time, we're getting a lot more sunlight and bright smiles here. So yeah.
My first impression when I saw this song, when I was looking at the lyrics, they talk about being drunk on your love, and I mean that I think they just really either the group or JYP or the production house, whatever, they just really wanted to capitalize on this notion, like this ironic notion of has no alcohol, but you're drunk on love. I got that. I saw that reinforced. I think we see members being lifted up, being weightless, and not having a strong sense of balance at times, because I think it's meant to feel like you're intoxicated on this love. So I thought it was a really good way that they had all the mixed drinks and stuff throughout the entire music video, just to further capitalize on that theme.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm maybe bleeding into another topic of discussion, but I mean, I think the highlight of the song and concept, obviously, with the alcohol is just when they named the different alcohols. I don't know. It just really hit a sweet spot for me.
No, yeah, that was really cute. To be frank, when I first heard it, I thought it might be a little too much, but the second time around with the second chorus, I was like, okay, this is kind of cute and kind of endearing almost, like I can, let me name my drinks too. Let's go.
Yeah, because listing things in a song can kind of get like cliche, a little boring, but they do it in a way that still makes it like fun and engaging throughout.
Right.
If it was any longer, I might have been like, but like at the same time, they cut it off at the right moment where it's like, okay, this is perfect. Let's go.
I think it was also perfectly like Warren said, it was perfectly playful how the lyrics came about. And I told myself when I first heard that chorus, leave it to JYP to list the whole cocktail menu, but call it alcohol free to troll everybody.
Exactly.
But it did work out fine. The way this was presented to everybody, it didn't have that big marketing push until it was like towards closer to the release date. But how I see it is how the song was presenting itself, right? Everything was chill. Everything was relaxed. The pre-orders opened a month before, giving every fan and everyone who wanted to buy it time to get their orders in. But once you got there, it's like everyone's just chill. Everyone's relaxed, just like the song. So I'm like, I'm seeing the parallels between of how the production is and how the marketing went, but when it comes to the actual day of release and people got their first takes and impressions, we saw mixed reviews on it. Personally, for me, I was very happy with the outcome. And I'm not saying it because it's Twice and it's a girl group, right? I'm saying it because Twice, for the past 2.5 years at least, have been doing very performance heavy songs. And it started with songs where they were always on their feet. You could tell by the way sometimes when they were singing on stage that they could lose their breaths at any time, right? But now they're at this age, especially when it started in 2019 with the fancy era. There's the shifts in their songs and the melodies and the lyrics started to become darker and darker and also mature. Now with Alcohol Free, they're women. They're women now. They can talk about these tracks. They're at the age they're in early 20s to mid 20s. They can do this. They can show that women can still have fun at their age, and they're even aging through this industry, but they're aging with finesse, like fine wine. And I'm not saying it because this song is alcohol free, but they're a girl group who is named the nation's girl group for a reason. Right. They have finessed their way to do what they want to do with this. And it doesn't matter what anyone is saying. They already have that status to go that way. And I'm very happy that with how everything's been panned out, how the performances are going, they seemed very chillax with it as well. It looks like they were happy. Even Jihyo said this was one of her top 5 music videos. And when you hear from the artists themselves and they seem very confident, they of course they were nervous, but that gives you some type of relief. Like if the artist is happy with the work that they're putting out, then I'm pretty sure there should be no disappointment from the fans and people who love them back.
And going back to what you said, Dewey, about this being a sexy comeback, it is very sexy, but not just sexy because it's just explicit and in your face. It's the confidence, the maturity, the experience. It's not that's really what makes it sexy. And like for me, this is probably the sexiest Twice album I've ever listened to. Like first time, the first time, like the second track on the album is so sexy, and it's because of, this is their 10th mini album. This is their 6th year. They are women.
You mean the best B-side, right? You mean like the best
See,
B-side.
We're actually in agreement
They're
this time. That is my favorite.
This is a really solid EP, though, I will say. Like, if there was a really solid summer EP, it would be this one. And I'm not saying it because it's Twice, because the sounds have seamlessly flowed throughout this EP. Given that Cry For Me, the English version, is only available on CD, but everything else has flowed very seamlessly, and it flows perfectly from one track to the end.
I totally
agree.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that, because I was noticing while listening to the EP that each track is very, very short, and each track on their own, it feels a little rushed in terms of pacing, but that doesn't really matter, because when you look at the album together, it flows really gently and really, really nicely. And the last couple sequences, 4, 5, 6, that flows really, really well, and it almost feels Twice's take on a very, very trendy sound in North America at the moment, which makes sense given their kind of shifts. I'm getting a little bit of Dua Lipa again, a little bit of Doja Cat, almost what was the song that she did on TikTok? I forget, but EP wise, album wise, this is probably something very, very nice from them. I actually don't remember their other EPs well enough to say, but it's good. Right?
I agree. There's a different maturity to their sound, and I think them as a whole, right? Even the concepts. What is love, right? They're hey, speculating. What is it to fall? What is it like to fall in love? And now they're telling you what it's like to be in love. It's like having a drink. It's like having a drink, right?
Yeah, right.
But I wonder. I don't know if it's a hot take. I don't like doing hot takes, but that's what
do
the
a
people
hot
ask.
take. Let's do it.
Let's go for it, man.
Do it.
Let's do it.
Actually,
probably gonna get me killed.
Throw
But,
down hyperbole. Only
we'll see about that, Dewey.
Spicy takes.
But we're not here for that.
Is Twice? We're not here for that. No. Is Twice here though to signal something to ones as they're maturing, right?
Mhm.
I think it's something that we have to expect too, just naturally, right? Are there going to be more members dating here, right? Or
Ooh.
are we going to find out something more on Dispatch soon? Just throwing it out there, and I'm not throwing it out there just to smear people, but it's going to be a reality, right? Going
Yes.
forward,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Ryan, you're saying, they're women, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've come to a point in their career and age in life where, like, if they're still singing "What Is Up," that would be kind of funky, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
if they're in their mid-20s and they're like, I don't know what love is, then I would be like, oh, like, you need to change your career, man. Like, you got to find out. Like,
Yeah.
now it makes sense, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
agreed.
Like when I was watching this music video, when they're giving me these very youthful looking looks, unadulterated joy, especially in the third last chorus where they're having their own dance party. To me, I might be like overlooking this, and I might just be looking at this from an English perspective. But when I think alcohol free, I think of virgin drinks. So, like, honestly, I was looking at this from a much more youthful point of view.
But I think Lai can mention the trolling, right?
Yeah,
In a
right.
sense.
Yeah.
There's that
Yeah.
duality.
There, random off tangent take that I thought I would just mention. So
it.
when we hear alcohol free in America, what do you think about? Alcohol Anonymous. So it's so when I heard this, I was like, so what is it once like having that feeling going to rehab? No, this is not how they're gonna market it, because this is not definitely gonna go westward if they're not taking that route. So yeah, that was just my random take. But when you hear alcohol free, you hear obviously virgin cocktails. But for me, I think about Alcohol Anonymous. Like, they're fine. They're fine.
I thought
They've
of
been
the
through
one
so
time.
much.
No. A little random tangent again. Like, the word alcohol free. Okay, first of all, I'm kind of like an immigrant. I'm from Korea. English is my second language. Didn't really pick up on a lot of like English undertones until like I was like way into high school. And here I was on a high school trip. Well, I was in high school. I was with my family. We went to Cancun, and I had no idea pina colada had alcohol in it. And
well, you can also make it virgin if you want, but yeah.
right, they could. And I didn't know. I just had no clue. I just got a pina colada, and they had alcohol in it. And then a very official looking person, probably a guard or something, walks up to me and he's like, "Are you drinking, sir?" And I'm like, "No, this is no alcohol in it." And he's like, "Pina colada?" I'm like, "Yeah." And like, that's about the time. I told my friends this, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they think you are having an alcohol-free pina colada." And I was like, "Okay, so that's what the word means."
Yeah.
I guess
Sorry,
though, Peter.
random tangent.
It's okay. It happens. We all interpreted this title track some different way.
Yeah.
It always will be, right? But
yeah.
Peter, so along your, with your feeling, I guess the question I have for you is kind of this whole youthful feeling. I kind of see how somebody could think that, but then what do you guys think at the very end? What is the point of that ring dropping into that cocktail?
I was about to ask that. Yeah. Yeah.
They got to talk about marriage next. It's or like commitment, some type of commitment. Like like you said, it has to happen.
Wedding concept?
Or engagement.
That might be too much. It could be like a ring could be interpreted different ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna overanalyze it, a ring could be either commitment through friendship, like sisterhood, marriage. They are coming up to their 7th year. The 7th year curse is next year.
Right.
You never know. So
because it could be just
I know. I hate to break
throwing
it
away
to you. Yeah, I hate
commitment,
to
like they're
break it
getting
to
rid
you.
of their or
No, I hope that's not it. But if they were to follow this up, it could probably like a song about commitment and breakups,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Yeah, or like
And that's
promise
more
rings. Promise
more
rings too.
concept.
Korean concepts or Korean culture, they're into promise rings, right?
Oh yeah.
Or like couple
Oh,
rings.
yeah.
So it could be one
Yeah.
of those.
Or
I
Dispatch
thought it
is
was
going to tell us
interesting
something
that
soon.
Dewey is really into this
joking.
dispatch stuff.
Oh,
We love
No, but, joke. Don't cancel me.
I was just surprised that they threw the rings into like a blender. It's like, ooh, that's going to destroy your blades and your ring and whatnot. But I just want to conclude at least this concept section of our review here is that, as usual, JYP, top of the line quality, production value, lots of post production effects. All the stops were pulled out. But I did not like the very first scene where it just felt like the camera composition of them all like lined up in front of the pool. It just felt off, and I can't believe they used that same photo for the like the YouTube thumbnail for the song. Like virtually every other scene like would have been better than the one that they used for the intro. So
I think that might be a good pivot into the choreo, the dance section,
Yes.
because that part stuck out to me. In general, I was a big fan of the choreo. That part in specific, I don't know, man. I'm not the biggest choreo dance expert over here, but 9 people standing in a row, flipping around. I don't know. I wasn't really big on it, to be honest.
But they chose to highlight that part too, right? In the music video,
Right.
which is interesting.
It's funny that you say that word because I was not a fan of the choreo in this. Like this is my first hot take. Like I agree with our co-host Stephanie because she's not here, but she was able to share our thoughts in her Slack, and she said that the choreo was like really busy and just too hyped for how light and airy and subtle this music, like the song actually is. And I agree with her. I feel like it was very busy. I don't know. That's the best way I can describe it. And because I listened to the song before I watched the music video, and I imagined the choreo much more simple, much more toned down, I guess, or at least more relaxed than what I saw.
maybe choreography that you get with Tropical House, like
Probably, yeah.
longer extensions.
I think it's also because the way that the choreography was portrayed. I think we have to wait for the studio tune version that's coming out very soon, or even the dance practice, because if you only see what's in the music video or even the performances per se,
Totally
it's
agree.
only what they're doing is they're painting pictures with their choreography. They're not like doing an actual just movements to the beats with the musicality. Sure, there's that a little bit here and there, but the way that they're doing their movements, they're painting a picture overall within each member is making a role. So like they're like during the bridge, like Mina's a bartender serving a drink to Dahyun, which is pretty dope.
That was
which
my favorite
really,
part.
really
Yeah.
smooth.
Oh, the best.
Really smooth. And the whole chorus part where like Sana's like she's listing the cocktail drinks. She's like making everyone's a bartender themselves and they're making a drink too. So it's I guess it's a matter of like taking time to absorb all of the pictures that they are dancing to. But yeah, I totally understand when you're saying that it could be busy when you're looking at a close perspective, when cuts are just zoom in and zoom out from music shows. But I think it's fair. It's a fair opinion. But I think there should be more content to be consumed in order to see like the whole picture.
Make an assessment on the choreo.
Totally agree. Just to highlight Lai's point, my group of onces that we have a chat in, we some of the guys, I mean, I think there were mixed reviews, right, about the song. It's too chill, it's too this, or it's too that. When we watched, there was like the 4K fan cam version where it's just straight on, or even the performance on M Countdown. Some of the guys responded with, hey, I don't know why it sounds better, or I think the song is better now, right? When you're actually watching the performance, I think it tells the story, or it conveys the song actually a lot better, because it's like Lai saying, it's snippets and pieces, unfortunately, in the MV, which happens, I think.
Yeah. There's a lot of domino effects in that actual choreography, especially the pre-chorus. When they're all in line in threes, there's actually a wave being choreographed into. So that was like probably a cool part.
I kind of see where you guys are coming from, but to kind of say something that I say on my show like every other week or so, we go through a lot of releases. I'm sure you guys do as well. And if it's not in the music video, chances are some listeners aren't going to check it out. I also do think like some things might be better enjoyed with other parts, like a different, different kind of music video or something like that, and that's totally fine too. But at the same time, I also do think, I'm kind of lost for words here, but you guys can kind of get the idea, right? Like
I get what you're saying.
Sure.
I mean, you take it at face value, right?
Right,
You're looking
right,
at the music video,
right. If it's not a music video, like, I mean,
At least if you're a casual
right.
listener,
Yeah.
right? If you're,
I mean, I'm just giving you my
all at
unbiased
once,
bias
they're gonna,
review.
Oh yeah.
I
Right.
feel like at this point, people will obviously they will watch the music video, but if they everyone's into Studio Choom now, so
Right.
I feel like they're gonna be watching that as well.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
feel like that's like the second chance because like everything's in 8K, 4K, and everyone wants that HD content. So I mean, I do too. I mean,
8K.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's beautiful
it's crazy.
stuff, man.
more
The Lord
pixels
has
than
mercy.
the human eye can see. So
Yes,
There's
you can see
nothing
their
like watching
pores.
8K, on 1080 quality.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Exactly.
Makes it better, all better.
All better.
When I was looking at the teasers for this music video, I thought like, oh my gosh, is this gonna be the very first time we see my pastime as a dancer,
Right.
partner dancing?
Ballroom
Like, are we
champion.
gonna get
Yeah.
salsa?
Samba.
Are we gonna
and,
get
like, salsa.
cha-cha, samba? You know what? I'm world class dancer and got awards in competing with samba, and so I was hoping for something like samba, cha-cha, salsa, whatever. And we unfortunately didn't get that in the dance, but we can still see the influences of it. So
Yes.
at times I was expecting them to have more mambo arm movement, but we just saw the JYP Disney version of it, where they have more like up and down floppy arms. I was expecting salsa shines, and if you're a salsero like you, that's a point where you're disconnected from your partner. You just have your own like kind of solo moment. We're doing footwork and stuff, and we actually saw a couple like homages to that in the choreography of this, but they didn't do the sharp point that you'd usually have in salsa. So it was like, okay, it's inspired, but it's not meant to exactly be the thing. And that takes me to the music. Unless you guys had any other thoughts on the dance.
The
One
beginning
more
of
thing.
it. Oh, go ahead, Dewey.
No.
Oh, Warren. I was doing Warren talking. So sorry. The intro. I was very interested. That was a very interesting way to start the song. The choreography really reminded me of Afrobeats and like.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, is this the time where finally a K-pop act will finally dance to an Afrobeat song? And then I was kind of let down. I said no. They said no. But I was not disappointed at the end. I thought it was still cool. But I am still hoping for a girl group out there, whoever's listening, if whatever. I am waiting for an Afrobeat track from K-pop, and that would be very interesting.
Oh, we'll get one. One of these
Hopefully.
days we'll get one.
Hopefully. Should I send this
One of
to?
these.
Lai, I think you just dropped the word to JYP.
Should I
That
just
should work,
email
right?
the rep? Maybe I should.
Yeah,
Let me go do that right now.
You should.
yeah. Let's just call him right now.
Let me
Get
just
him on the
let
line.
me just
Can you
hit
get
him
him on right now?
Let me
Hello, Mr.
Get him
Potter.
on.
hello.
Make an
Get him on
Afrobeat
Riverside.
track.
Oh, one thing I forgot to bring up earlier. So, Lai, you were saying like, hey, these girls up Twice, or was it Do? I can't remember. But one of you were saying earlier, like they've done very cardio.
Yes.
I'll say intensive.
Yeah, it's very intense choreo.
This seemed like it's intense. A lot of head rolls and whatnot. But like it wasn't nearly the same degree as their past couple of singles.
Right.
And,
I do agree with that.
I think you compare that with oh my god, what was the not Cry for Me, the one right before that?
Oh,
one.
I Can't
Can't
Stop
stop
Me?
me.
I Can't Stop Me.
Yeah.
They had that like butt shake, movement
Yeah.
in the choreography, and they have the same butt shake here, except it's like the simplified form, which makes me think like, okay, it's a way to catch up on your breathing. Like if they're gonna have concerts, they're gonna have live performances. They have to do a lot of these songs back to back.
Gotta mix it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, a chance for them to not completely die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're not 19 anymore. They gotta have leave room for breathing.
Yeah.
Like,
These ain't what they used to
But
be.
I think part of it too could be Jungyeon too, right? She's coming back. From a
Yeah,
neck
right. We
injury,
forgot this
right?
is her first comeback as with the group for the Korean comeback. She
Mhm.
was part of the last Japanese album, but this is her first time coming back and dancing for the Korean album.
I don't know what it is with JYP, but JYP artists have the best choreography.
Hairography.
Someone
Choreography?
could fight
yeah.
me with that, but JYP has some of the best choreography.
Warren,
Does
is Warren not
okay.
convinced?
Does Mr. Joy P have good hair though?
The girls I meant.
Okay, the girls. Okay,
Oh well. Does Mr. Joy?
He's being a good pseudonym, and he's
I'm thinking about all the
letting
Wonder
the
Girls
girls have the
people.
good-
And I just want to call it out just before we lose sight of it. So someone in our chat, Koro, writes that he's quoting Jiho, who shared that the biggest difference from our previous works is that we can talk about love with certainty now.
Yeah.
So I just want to acknowledge that in terms of the message and
This
theme
is
of
interesting. This is interesting. I say this because there's so many parallels between. I think I'm gonna say this because they're under the same company, ITZY and Twice. The last time I talked to ITZY, when it came to Not Shy, when they were promoting it, they were telling me like this is like one of their first times talking about love. Obviously, there's a difference in age and like, you know, their age in this industry. And then now Twice, you know, they grew up in front of the camera, literally, and
wasn't Sui like 13 when they debuted?
Yeah, she was like 13, 14, like for like 15, one of those ages sometimes, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because we have, throughout their career, they've always touched base on having small crushes, right? And not like full on love. We didn't get that until like end of early 2020, a little bit of 2019 as like their title track. So now they can openly talk about it, which is very interesting because they're women. They're not young anymore.
I think the biggest thing that like hits differently with that statement too is like it's Gio who said it. I'm not gonna mention what happened, but y'all know what happened. It's she's real. That's like
so Warren, what actually happened?
Yeah,
right, because I don't remember how long, but Gio was together with Kang Daniel for like a good while, like a year or so. Like right. They were together. There was a lot of word around it. Like it came out through Dispatch, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!" Like you know. But you know, like. The statement hits differently because we know that like that's happened, right? Like if it was a person who like we don't know anything about or like you know has no history in that aspect, you might be like, all right, like you might be just saying it. Now it feels like okay, like there's a personal layer to the you know the thematical direction of the song, right? Like that's not a thing every girl group can do nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, they're being very unapologetic now, which is bound to happen to every artist at some point, but they are embracing the fact that they are becoming veterans in this industry and that they can openly talk about this, and they're actually becoming the role models to younger artists that are looking up to them.
And correct me if I'm wrong,
she's doing that.
Isn't Momo dating Hicho? Was that still a thing, or was that
that's still a thing? Yep, still a thing.
Yep,
still a thing.
Still a thing.
I also want to call it this other comment from Koro, who also writes in our chat. Jiho also wrote first time, definitely adds some authenticity to it.
Yes. Which was produced by my favorite Little Mix member,
right? I saw that.
So this is the greatest collaboration that has ever happened in my life right now.
So you might know, this song, I think people first heard it, or even just looking at it, you think Bossa Nova. For some reason or another, we're also really connected with Brazilian listeners. Shout out to all the listeners from Brazil.
Yes.
So we got this recording from Elena in Brazil, who had some thoughts on the Bossa Nova relevance in this song. So here, I'm going to play her clip.
Hi guys, this is Elena. I'm a Brazilian K-pop fan and also a big Brazilian music enthusiast. So I'm just very excited to talk about the Bossa Nova influence in Twice's Alcohol Free. For those who aren't familiar with it, Bossa Nova is a Brazilian music genre. If we had kind of like a recipe for it, then its main ingredients would be the nylon string classical guitar and the singer's voice. And that's basically it. In Bossa, it is actually the classical guitar which is the big star of the show, It is played as a deconstruction of the samba beat into these measured, very soft sounding guitar chords. If that kind of sound is hard to picture, then you can just take a look at the alcohol-free intro. That's it. That is the bossa nova classical guitar sound. As the song progresses though, and as the other instruments take place, I think you still have the ghost of that bossa nova sound, but it seems to make some way for a more Hispanic, salsa-like sound. So Alcohol Free kind of dips its toes into the bossa nova waters and gets to play around a little bit with it, but it does not deep dive into bossa nova, which may be a good thing because bossa is a very simple sounding minimalistic music genre, which could very much clash with what we tend to expect from a K-pop title track. In general, I think that as any other song and any other genre, people may like it or not, but I think that there is quite a clever thought process behind having Twice explore bossa nova, and it is because bossa has a very strong imagery attached to it, and this imagery has been built decades ago. So you can very instantly achieve that relaxing summer vacation sort of feeling.
Right.
Wow. Thank you.
Let's agree. I
Wow.
agree. She just spoke
Awesome.
the word music.
The word.
The Bible
The
of
gospel.
genres.
The gospel of music. Amen.
Mhm.
Amen.
Amen.
The gospel of Gajihyo. Amen.
Are we in the church?
Amen.
Yes. The Church of Twice.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Church up twice.
Amen.
If you look at
Amen.
their press release for the track, they were saying they took bossa nova and combined it with hip hop, and then gave it a unique Twice flavor to it.
Mhm. Add their
and
color.
hip hop's not really there strong. Right. I add their own color. The hip hop is there. If you listen to the chorus, there is a drum loop in the style of a trap drum loop. It does not use Roland 808s. No, none of that.
Yep,
but
yep,
right,
yep.
The style is there. And I've been noticing that's been like a trend in like creating music the last couple of years. I'm thinking about tracks like Nappa by Crush or Fine by Punchinello, Last Song by Harry Music. You got all these tracks, and now we're seeing that crossed over into mainstream K-pop here. So that's one thing that stood out to me. They took a bossa nova loop, gave it a hip hop twist, and then there's the bridge area, which I see Peter's gonna go into in a second, so I'm not gonna spoil for that.
No, go for it.
No,
Warren.
but there's a slower down section where the bossa nova rhythm is completely gone, right?
Mhm.
And you have the 4 kick drums hitting every beat, kind
Yep.
of like in the style
Or
of a house
one
drum.
one kick drum
Right.
every quarter beat. yeah.
Right. One kick
Or
drum
quarter
every
note,
quarter
yeah.
note. And you end up with a situation that's like kind of like a house beat, but like way slower because I think this is like somewhere between 100 and 110 or something like that. Where a house drum is like more like 120, 130. So it's a lot slower, and you end up with this very laid back, chilled, groovy thing. So it's an interesting track because if you think about K-pop, one thing that stands out, one thing that makes K-pop unique from other genres is the emotional build. Like whether you're using hip hop, whether you're using rock or emo rock, whether you're using whatever genre you use, there's always an emotional build to everything, and then there's a big climax. They take it down a notch. There's another one in the second chorus. That is like something I find very unique about K-pop, right? And that's there because that's something Koreans have come to like the past couple decades. That's not here at all. Not with this one. It's a lot more groovy. It's a lot more flowy in that aspect. So that's how the song works, right? Yeah, Peter, you got stuff to add to that as well? I have some spicy takes later, but we can go for that later.
Okay, sure. Yeah, well, feel free to interrupt me, Warren. I mean, along the lines of the kick drum, I was honestly kind of disappointed when I started hearing it because, like, when I'm being very lazy in my DJ edits of songs, like, when I just like, okay, I need a DJ friendly intro. What's the minimal viable effort like a DJ could do in making a DJ friendly edit is like, well, you just add a kick drum every
Right.
beat. and like they did that, and they did it like without any special cadence or anything, like no special rhythm to the kick drum, and they did it for too long. I feel like it's I don't know exactly which sections, but it's like
Do you think it's
the
purposeful
verse and the
though? It
chorus.
was done on purpose. Like you think it's
What-
done on
what-
purpose because
See,
of that feeling of to portray that feeling of drunkenness?
I mean, see, here's
you
the
think
thing
that's
though,
true?
right? Like, the intention is what I'm trying to look for here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been difficult for me with this track. Because with that build up bridge area, I see what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to take it back a notch before they go into the chorus. That's what every
Yeah.
track does, fine.
Right.
But like in terms of mixing and arrangement, it just feels like we're missing something, you know? Like the vocals are there, sure. The string instruments are there in the background, yeah, sure. But at the same time, it's not doing its it's not fulfilling its purpose. And I'm questioning, okay, did they did they step back in the arrangement to make it feel empty on purpose, or like what's going on here, right? Like and maybe that's what they're trying to do, like, right? Like maybe they're trying to
Yeah.
portray the image of almost a heartbeat, going on and off again, kind of
Yeah.
shout outs to
Ooh,
Heartbeat by 2
I
PM.
like that.
Yeah. But
Come back on the 28th.
on the 28th.
There you Yes.
Can't wait.
Okay, let's
as a
stop talking about men.
casual music listener, I mean, I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on the chorus, because I mean, I understood there was a build up, right? And then the chorus hit, and as a casual music listener, I was like, it's an okay chorus. Again, I didn't get excited till they started naming alcohol, but maybe that's other issues I have.
Got it.
Is it an issue though?
It's probably a good thing.
I mean,
Sorry, go Peter.
I like the chorus. I liked it. It was more tropical house in the chorus. It was more the vibe I was getting. Technically speaking, sure, maybe it's not exactly tropical house, but I think closer to it in terms of the synths that they used, and the drum, just the percussion and the synths for the chorus made me think more of that vibe. And Twice isn't a completely stranger to that territory either.
I like the chorus too. If anything, a chorus was the favorite part for me in the entire track. That's the part where I felt like the groove was getting really, really on nicely. Shout out to those trap drums. But at the same time, I wasn't super big on the melody itself. The thing with the tracks I mentioned earlier that have been in this style a little bit, they use the melody to create a constant sense of rhythm. With they break down the melody, syllable, syllable, syllable. And I'm not saying they have to do that, but at the same time, there were points in the chorus where it did feel a little empty. And it's sure we can be laid back and chill, but at the same time, we can have weight and be laid back and chill. That was a little lacking for me personally.
Well, if I can give you my experience into this, I went through a very much a 180 through my experience, and I think it's just right in line what you're getting at, Lai. The first time I heard the song, and in fact, even before I heard the entire song, just listening to the teasers, I thought, oh my gosh, finally, am I gonna get something that's really disruptive for K-pop, which is like, salsa or cha-cha or something along those lines. And so when I heard the very first intro, as Elena was describing earlier, that's like bossa nova. Realize, the nylon string guitars and very stripped down, and it had that rhythm. And all of a sudden the rhythm changes. And really, you look at the song, it's like a combination of like so many different things. It's got some salsa elements in it. It's got some Latin jazz elements in it. It's got some samba elements in it. It's kind of, frankly, all over the place. And the underlying scaffold for its percussion, is consistent, but it's none of the other, Latin-inspired genres that it takes you through. When you think bossa nova, you think of like the stereotypical jazz chord progression, like a 2-5-1
Right.
progression, and this one actually gets really close to it in its chord progression. So it still pays homage to it, but not quite the same thing. What I really like again, what Elena was saying with the guitars and the nylon and that stripped down experience and vibe, there's just a lot of really fun syncopation in this song. So if you pay really close attention, if you listen only to the guitars in the background, you'll notice that the syncopation and the strumming pattern changes every single freaking chord, or like every single chord that nylon string guitar plays in the background. I think that adds to a really fun sense of rhythm for the song. At times, again, being very inspired by the Latin jazz feel, you hear this, I cannot pronounce this because I cannot speak Spanish well, but it's this guaguanco, like piano rhythm. Or piano riff, and I like that. But you hear that all the time in salsa, right? Like when you go out social dancing, you know, that Afro-Cuban beat, like it's a typical thing you can expect, and yet you didn't have them dancing in the salsa rhythm. So to me that was jarring. But so I was originally thinking, like, you know, what the heck is this jumbled mess? Like, you know, is JYP just borrowing from, like, oh, well, this is Latin, and let me just borrow all these, like, you know, ingredients and flavors from all over the place and, like, you know, smash it, you know, together in a way that works and is conducive for Twice's vocals to right on top. But the more I thought about it, like, you know, at first I was like, is this, like, you know, whatever, pop? But going back to the message of the song, it's about drunk love.
It's
right?
intentional.
Like, in what? Yes,
it's
like
intentional.
Like,
it's literally intentional. Like the more you talk about it and the more you analyze it, you realize this whole song is about the stages of being drunk. You are in a roller coaster of emotions.
Yes.
You don't know where your thoughts are going. You don't know what your next movement is. Are you sad? Are you happy? Where are your emotions going? This is why this song has mixed reviews, because yes, it is all over the place, because what happens when you're drunk? You don't know. You're a mess. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what you're doing. You're unconscious. So that's why this song has so many like stories, like sub-stories within the members, how they're portraying like some type of vision when it comes to being drunk and this picture. That's why I think it's perfect how when you see the choreography, you know, it reflects how the overall intent of the song is. So as much as people don't really like it, the way that this was all composed was pretty genius, because
that's right.
Let's say the bass thing is, of course, a Latin vibe. It's bossa nova, or you know, whatever you call it. So the feel is Latin, but these subgenres symbolize all their different emotions throughout. Then let that choreography seep in. That's their movement.
So is that why like Nayeon is like swaying left to the right? She can't stand still because she's like completely just wasted. Like,
because
that makes so much more sense now. Like
that's why the choreography is like, you don't know.
I'm just gonna fall.
Yeah. You're swaying because you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
So this
agree,
isn't just a
mind-blown.
Disneyland sampler platter. This is not just a Disneyland sampler.
That's right.
It's
it is
Disney
actually
19 plus.
The most avant-garde jazz. Like, I thought I was getting like a really boring pedestrian, like four on the floor pop single, and then it's like, well, actually, you look at it closer and the intentionality and structure behind the song and the way all the things I described, it's avant-garde jazz.
We were being trolled. We were being trolled.
Mr. Park, I have now learned.
The ones who are 18 and younger, you will understand when you get to this age.
That's right, because if you're older than 20, you're supposed to listen to jazz now, not K-pop.
Yeah, all Twice is like over 21. They're fine.
I threw away all my K-pop albums when I turned 20. Replaced them. That Twice album you see there, that is jazz. That is not Twice. Oh.
What's Twice? I only know jazz.
Is that an indie jazz artist from Brazil? Twice?
Okay. On that,
is there any way to prove this? I'm curious.
I think it's already proven. We said it on the show, right? Like,
well, I mean, like any artist, you know, they're not going to actually tell you, because the more they leave it up for interpretation, the better.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think is
You know,
Mind
just take
blown.
whatever makes you happy. If this explanation
Yeah.
makes you happy, then go ahead and believe it.
Mhm.
It's fantastic.
Exactly.
I
But
think,
It's on
I
the
think we
internet
only
now,
speak
it's a
facts
fact.
here.
Right.
I think lie doesn't lie. Lie speaks facts.
Oh. I like that.
Pun intended.
And for podcast listeners who can't see it, but Lai just like, she
another one.
literally dropped
Oh.
the mic. She dropped the mic.
Oh, what?
Just had a random mic lying around that she dropped just for
Yeah, I
this.
do. I actually go into meetings.
Just
I go into work meetings with this and I use it. So
oh, Lai, I love you.
I'm fun to work with.
Can I be your
Sometimes.
coworker?
Yeah, I do random meetings and I just yell at people with this Bluetooth mic. I do monthly analytics meetings just on this mic.
Nice.
Bro, I gotta
Great.
do the same thing.
Okay.
Back to avant-garde jazz.
Avant-garde jazz.
Well, I think we could just about wrap this
Yeah,
up, right?
but
Unless
was
there's anything else
this
that you guys wanted to
song
say.
a mic drop? Was this whole concept a mic drop? Because guys, it is that time.
It better be after my
Time
explanation.
to give our final scores. We discussed the concept, we discussed the visuals, the audio, the avant-garde jazz of it all, but is Twice
Are we talking about B-sides too?
alcohol
No,
free?
just the song,
Okay.
just the song.
Oh, okay.
Free alcohol.
Daybok
Or
not.
You know, we need a
Okay,
better way of doing
Warren,
that.
Daybok or not?
I gotta be honest, guys. This is not a daybok for me.
Wow, I was not expecting that from Warren. Okay.
I think I've had other Twice tracks I like, but I like the album too. This is actually my least favorite track on the album. So go check out the album, please.
there you go.
Okay.
So don't cancel Warren.
Lie.
I honestly think this was one of the most cohesive EPs they've had in a while. Like I think this is better than More and More, in my honest opinion. Way better than More and More. And this is definitely Daebak to me. Just the way that this was all pulled out, the intent behind this song, great, genius.
Okay. Dewey, I think we can guess, but what is your score?
Yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna try to make Warren change his mind, and I'll tell you why.
Yes, let's do it, Dewey. Come on.
It's-
I'm rooting for you.
It's Daybok for me, but here's the take. It's the song that nobody wanted, but it's the song we all needed. This is the dark
Ooh.
night of Twice songs. Okay,
Yeah.
it's the perfect timing during the post-pandemic, I guess we can say now, to make you feel like you can escape for that little bit to Cabo, right? It's also that next step in their evolution and their development, right? And kind of this I guess my mind was blown by that recent explanation in terms of why there is some discohesiveness, if that's a word.
Mm.
That's true. That last bit, I think. Ooh, can we do do-overs in the show?
Yeah, of course, Warren. We definitely
you
can.
do it for so
We
long as you're
definitely
on the
can.
mic, so
Just for
you
you,
both
we can.
Just for Warren.
I have changed the rules of the show single-handedly. I think it's Daybok, guys. Let's go.
He's seen the Twice lights. This is all we care about.
I'm part of Church Geo all over again. Amen.
But in all seriousness, I think this is something we won't appreciate as much until a little time has passed,
Got
and
it.
we see where this was in its evolutionary context.
Dewey, you mean they? You mean they will not appreciate
They,
it? They will take a long
yes.
time.
Okay.
We
They will.
already appreciate because Warren
Okay.
has
Yes.
said Daybok to this already.
I have left Satan. I'm joining Geo.
But Peter,
been
are you
revived.
conforming? What is your score?
Oh yeah, I was already tay to the bog. I was drunk on alcohol free. So yeah, I am. It's tay block for me. Like you already heard the 180 I went through with this song. So yeah. And how about you, Michaela?
Okay. Oh no. Okay. So I must stand in my truth. I haven't been converted. I'm sorry. This is a not for me. But again,
I mean, it's already expected.
for some of the same reason that you were, Warren. It's like this isn't my replay from the album. It's first time. And I feel like, again, maybe like you said, Dewey, I need to, come back to this maybe in a few months and figure out what I was missing. Yeah, but sorry, it's a not.
Talk to me when you're ready, Michaela.
I'm sorry, Eli.
I see.
It's okay. I'm just
Michaela,
kidding.
I understand. Michaela, I understand. I was also at a dark time, at a dark place. I was a Satan believer, but I've converted over to God Jiho. The church is great. You should join. Take your time, but yeah.
Yeah, take your time.
Warren, Light.
Okay.
Warren and Light.
I'll visit.
We build, they will
I've
come.
got to
We build,
come
they
down
will
for my
come.
temple of Rebel Love first.
Well, we were also supposed to talk about EXO today, but I flipped the tables on you, Michaela. So that's probably why.
Yeah, EXO won the poll, Peter. We were supposed to talk about
Well,
EXO. It's
no,
okay.
it was actually a tie. I'm going to pull it up right now, and I'm going
okay.
to show it to you. In our listener Slack, we had a poll going for what song should we do next episode, and it was tied.
It was me,
so-
Eric, and Emily wanted to talk about
Ooh.
EXO, and you and Howard just
and Michael D.
overpowered all of us.
Yeah.
Well, not a shameless plug or anything, but a podcast called Soju Talk. We talked about
That's
EXO.
right,
Don't
last
fight the
episode.
feeling. No, I'm totally not related on any level, but
Yeah.
you can cut that out.
Koro did just make a really good comment. Don't fight the feeling of alcohol free. Exactly.
Ooh,
Exactly.
Koro Sensei, my man.
That's the EXO promo we're getting in this episode.
Okay, I'll take it.
That's
I'll
the
take it.
EXO promo. Okay.
Yo, real quick though,
Got it.
EXO, Don't Fight the Feeling was totally Taebak in my book, by the way.
Yeah, it's good. That
Oh,
was their
same.
too.
hmm
Good track. Daebak.
People might say
Definitely.
it's a I might say it's like a watered down Power, but you know what? It still slaps.
Yeah, even though it references
I
it.
actually like this better
Lie.
than Power.
Yeah,
I do too.
I like them both
I do too,
equally.
Warren.
Oh my god! Let's go,
Same,
man.
same.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like it better than Power.
All right, let's wrap it up all. We all have things to do. So signing off, let our listeners know where they can find you each online and promote your things. So
Yeah,
Dewey, you're up
Dewey.
first.
Plug it up.
You can find me at DUYLE0122 at, wait, where am I adding? Just on Twitter.
All right. You can find me. I had to look this up. You can find me on at Soju Talk or at SJT_Warren. That the podcast and then me.
Yeah.
Follow me twice. Let's go, guys.
And then also the Slack channel, right? For Soju Talk.
Yeah, we have a Discord
Oh,
too.
sorry, Discord.
Not a same thing, honestly. Links on our things, Twitter, YouTube. I think probably. Yeah.
And Lai?
You can follow me or stalk me. Just don't stalk me. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at LiveFrancis, LAIFRNCS. And you could just literally slide into my DMs. It might take a while or not, depending on my mood. But yes, you could hit me up on anything girl groups. Because that's great. That's a great way to be friends with me. And thank you Twice and JYP for the shirt that I bought myself. Please release more Hawaiian shirts because this is actually my brand.
Yeah, I tried finding if I had any Hawaiian shirts to wear for this episode. I didn't have anything. Lai, what were those dates again? What were the dates of the talks?
June 14 to 15.
Okay, there we
That
go.
is this Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the same time on Thursday, but that's a Zoom session. Everything you can find at the KCON Twitter account.
Okay.
KCON USA and KCON Official.
Cool. Well, I think some of the listeners are gonna be hearing this after that takes place.
That's
but
fine. It will
maybe-
be pre-recorded and uploaded on KCON Official's YouTube, I think.
Perfect.
Okay, there we go. So check it out
Yeah.
there too. If you're
Yeah.
catching
Yep.
it late.
Okay. Really quickly, I'm at Michaela J Kpop on Twitter, or
And I'm at DJ Peter Lowe.
yeah, or you can, if you want to get to know us better, come participate in polls and help make the show even better, or just come and hang out and talk about Twice and other things. We have our own Kpopcast Slack chat. You can find the link in the description of this episode.
And don't forget to join us at KPSN, which is, oh my God, what is the date? July 11th, I think, is when it is.
Yeah.
So join us there, and we'll be giving a panel. I'm going to be DJing in between sessions, so
Right.
come through and chill out and make some new friends and listen to the Hallyu-cast scene. And yeah, that's it. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe. So that's the end. Fly, we need your mic drop again. We need your mic drop again. Drop the mic again.
Wait, are there
There we go.
are there air horns
now
on
we're
the
done.
soundboard,
Okay.
Peter?
Wait, I have air horns.
You boy.
Damn it.
Okay, bye.
That's fine. That works.
Bye, guys.
편한 옷으로 물론 난 지금하여 보면 그냥 코미디 이렇게 무해한 파티 처음이지 방금이 격차하는 새벽 2시경 술잔과 감정이 소용돌이쳐 왜들 그리 다운돼 있어 뭐가 문제야 say something 분위기가 겁나 싸해 요샌 이런 게 유행인가 왜들 그리 재미없어 아 그건 나도 마찬가지 Tell me what I got to do 급한 대로 블루투스 켜
대박. Or not.
Or we need to do that again. No. Take two.
Should we redo that?
Yeah.
Here, Peter.
That was in response to the alcohol free. We were off sync and drunk, right?
Dude, that milk has got me drunk, man. I'm wasted.
Yeah.
I love tea.
You're love drunk.
Okay.
Maybe we should keep that just for this. No.
Okay.